Hey guys, and welcome back to Reasoning with Ra. I know it's been so long. It feels like it's weird actually because the last time that I took like I don't know, like it was a 9 day break. That felt like it was like a month. But this it feels like I made a video like last week because this week has been so hectic. Like it's actually been ridiculous because obviously we all finished uni. Um, there's been so many events. There's like day parties, nights out, the grad ball happened, all of this stuff happened, and I just don't even know where I was. Like, I've just not been able to like actually just sit down and just make a video because either I've been waking up hungover, didn't want to do anything like that, or I've been outside just doing whatever gallivanting. And also I made a day in the life video. Well, that will be you'll see that later, I assume. And I was trying to edit it, and I think I've come to the conclusion that my laptop's just not ready for prime time because it just cannot handle anything. Like it, I can't download stuff. But then I paid for Google Drive storage, and it doesn't like it when I use Google Drive because then the quality drops to 360p, and I'm like, well, I'm not gonna post that because you can't see anything. So I'm actually going through hell because I'm just a bot. Like I actually don't know what I'm doing, so I'm like learning on the fly, so I don't know what I'm doing with editing it. But I'm gonna push through. I don't have any uni to do, so like I'm gonna push through, and you'll see the video. But it's gonna be weird because in that video, I will be planning this video. So that's why I wanted to get that one out first. That's why I've taken so long to make this video because I was like, oh, let's get the day in the life out, and then I'll do this one. But I just can't seem to do it. Now it's just been so long since the last video. I'm like, I just want to put something out. So yeah, that's where I've been. That's what I've been doing, and it feels good to be back. Like just sitting here, like nice setup, whatever. It actually feels nice just to be just doing stuff again, not going out and drinking and you know. So yeah, that's where I've been. Right. So today we're gonna be talking about what I guess I'm gonna call it the dilemma of authenticity. Why? Just because it's a dilemma that I'm having in my head. Like whenever I think about authenticity, and it's kind of been playing with me for a while, especially since like the start of this second semester of my third year, because I did this module called authenticity and existentialism, and after the first lecture, I was like, wait, is authenticity even something like? Is it even good? Like, or what is the point of it? Or like, it was just messing with me. So I was like, let's add this one to the notes. So it's just gonna be this is gonna be more like the first couple of videos that I made, where it's kind of just like a discussion. The last one was kind of just me talking. I don't know if you guys like that or preferred that to the more conversational videos. But yeah, that's essentially what this is going to be about, and I'm actually quite interested to hear what you guys think. The same way I was about like the emotional intelligence one and the efforts of self help, because it's actually quite when you think about it in the way I'm going to speak about it, it's actually quite interesting to think about how not being yourself might be good or how being yourself might not be good. That'll be more clear later on. But yeah, so I'm just gonna actually clarify what I mean by authentic because it could actually be a bit confusing because there are like different meanings. Because like you could have like an authentic Da Vinci or like authentic cheese, where like an authentic Da Vinci is like, is it Da Vinci? Yeah, he was the artist. Yeah, I think he's the artist. Anyway, it's like a painting drawn by Da Vinci. Like it's just authentic because it was made by Da Vinci, and then you've got like authentic cheese like from or authentic champagne is like from champagne. Like there's authentic in that sense. But I'm not talking about either of those. I'm talking about authentic in the sense of just being yourself, like the action of being authentic, as opposed to like authorship or like culture, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'm just going to clarify that because that could have been a little bit confusing. So this might be a bit strange, but I'm actually going to start by talking about being inauthentic before speaking about just being authentic, just because it'll be easier for the dilemma I'm going to speak about later. But like, just as some background, when you hear, oh, that person's being themselves or that person's an authentic person, like you kind of think of that as a positive. So being inauthentic, you'd obviously just naturally think it's a bad thing. And like, I guess an example you could give is like, if you're in a group of friends or if you're meeting somebody new and you're not yourself, you're being inauthentic. Like, you can see how that's probably not desirable. It's probably quite bad. Maybe not quite bad, but it's just like it's not a desirable thing. Like, you wouldn't want to do that. You wouldn't want that to be like a character trait that's assigned to you. So I guess in that sense, like, being unauthentic it just looks bad, right? But think about this YouTube channel, for example. I started making this YouTube channel on the back of something that I saw somebody else do. Like, I didn't just decide, like, it wasn't an authentic part of me to just start this YouTube channel. So essentially, this YouTube channel is inauthentic. But like I just said, being inauthentic is a little bit bad, or it's not desirable. Or I wouldn't want somebody to say, oh, you're inauthentic because you started a YouTube channel. But that's essentially what happened. So as you can see, there's like a little precursor to the dilemma I'm talking about. It's like, should we allow ourselves to be inauthentic to be able to like broaden our personalities or to add certain things to our personalities that weren't there before, or do we just stick as how we are? Like, a lot of the time society will tell you that like being inauthentic is, you know, not good and it's never good, right? Think about like certain things like being labeled a wannabe, like being labeled like a, I don't know, a Juice WRLD wannabe or a KSI wannabe or like even like a football manager, like a Pep Guardiola wannabe. Like, being labelled a wannabe in that sense is not good, right? But I kind of feel like it could be good because this YouTube channel, someone could label me like a KSI wannabe because I'm here making a YouTube video, or like that guy I mentioned in the first video, Profound Pondering, kind of makes similar videos to this, and maybe someone could say I'm inauthentic because of that. But I'd like to say overall this channel is a good thing. Like, I don't know what you guys would think. This is what I mean. Like, I kind of want to know what you guys think, because I would like to say that this channel is pretty good. Like, it's a good thing that I'm doing. I'm spending my time in a constructive way. I'm having conversations with people, but it's not at all really authentic. You know, having the conversations is like, I do like to have the conversations, but broadcasting it onto YouTube, like, that's not something that I'd say is part of who I am. Even though I've had a desire to do it, I've just not, like, I didn't just decide to do it. Like, I did it on the back of, you know, seeing somebody else do it or being inspired by somebody else. So, you know, that's, I guess, the dilemma of being inauthentic, which is, I guess, a little bit, that's why I put it first, because it's a little bit less, I don't know what the word is, broad, I guess. Because I guess like more people are trying to be authentic than inauthentic. So this is more of a niche problem, like being inauthentic. Like, people aren't going out of their way to be inauthentic. So it's a bit less widespread. So that's why I put it first. But I'd like to know what you guys think, because yeah, like, I kind of have a dilemma of like, this channel might be an inauthentic thing that I'm doing, but I think it's good. But then on the flip side, like I said at the start of the section, being authentic is seen as good. So being authentic must not be good. So yeah, I wonder what you guys think, because it's a bit like, it's just messing with me. So yeah. So now onto the dilemma of actually being authentic, that I spoke about at the beginning. And for me, it's kind of just, it's a strange thing to think about, because like I said at the start, being authentic or being yourself is something that just intrinsically we think is good. And even socially, like, we think, oh, it's really good. Like, they're doing their own thing. Like, they're doing them. That's a cool thing that they're doing. Like, I don't know how to put it. Like, it's a virtue. It's like a good thing, right? And I can see how that's true. I can see, or not even how that's true, but how people think that, because you're not getting any help from anyone else. You're not having to be inspired by anyone else. You're essentially just making it up as you go, or you're doing things that come to your mind. You're creative, or, you know, you're brave, you're courageous, and all of those things are good things. So I guess being authentic on paper looks like a good thing. And even on top of that, it has the added benefit of, let's say you make a mistake while being authentic. A lot of the time people won't see that as like such a terrible thing, because at least you were trying to be yourself. Like, if I see this a lot, like in like social stuff, right? Where one person will say something and the group's a bit like, whoa, why did you say that? And they're like, oh, I'm just being myself. Like, I'm not going to apologize for who I am. I'm just being myself. And then, even though they was a bit ticked off about what they said, they're like, oh, you know what, fair enough. Like, at least they're an honest person. At least they're like an authentic person, you know? So it's got that added benefit of being like almost like a avid excuse to making mistakes. It's like you can't really be wrong if you're yourself. Because if something goes good, well done, you are yourself. If something goes bad, oh, well, at least you're being yourself. So I guess that's how being authentic can be seen as good. Like, it's like a cool thing. It's like you know what I'm trying to say. But then here's where I kind of see some kind of dilemma with being authentic. Because let's say you're the type of person, or you are a person who being authentic means you do some bad things, right? Maybe you're authentically angry or authentically dishonest, right? By being authentic, you are doing bad things, right? So if you decide to, so you can make a decision, right? You can remain being authentic, or you can change. You can, I guess, become inauthentic and change those bad things into good things, but at the cost of your authenticity. Like, you're no longer being yourself, but you are actually rectifying some problems. So then, what's better? Because as we spoke about earlier, being authentic is not, sorry, being inauthentic is not good. Or because being authentic is good, being inauthentic must not be good. But then for this person who has these traits, these authentic traits that are not very good, like being dishonest or being angry or, being selfish, being authentic for them is not good. So what do we do? If they stick, they're doing bad things, but they're being authentic. If they twist, then they're doing good things, but they're being inauthentic. So then we have a dilemma, because which one's the right one to do? Some people would argue that no matter what, you should be yourself, and therefore they should stick with how they are, and you just have to deal with the bad things that comes with that. But then I feel like I'd probably argue the other side, where you should probably twist, sacrifice your authenticity, and just perform good actions. I don't know if it's like so black and white for you guys. I wonder what you think, because for me, yeah, like a lot of the time when I read stuff online, I'm like, yeah, I know he was being himself, but he's also a terrible person. Like, maybe not a terrible person, but like he's done a terrible thing. Like just he's doing him or he's being himself is not a good enough excuse to make up for the fact that he's doing bad things. So, I don't know. I wonder what you guys think. Because, like with all the other videos, I'm open to changing my mind. I just haven't been able to get to that side on my own. So, I guess it would be pretty cool to see what you think. So, I did want to kind of give like a possible fix, or like a possible like solution to this dilemma, and I wonder what you think, like if you think it's like a viable solution, because I didn't want to just, obviously because I've been thinking about it for so long, I've been thinking, oh, what a way to get around this dilemma, and this is the only one that I've found to be like possibly even slightly plausible. And it's so let's say that person with these terrible traits decides to like change and stop doing those bad things, and stop being dishonest, stop being selfish. But at that point where they do that, they're being inauthentic. Could we reach a point where after a certain amount of time, or after a certain amount of these good actions, that becomes part of their authentic self? So let's say like for the first 10 years of their life, they were doing all these bad things, right? But on their 10th birthday, or I guess their 11th birthday, whichever one you want, they just decide, all right, I'm changing now. Could we say after 10 years, 10 more years, or 11 more years, the majority of their life, because they've been acting in this way, and now that's who they actually are, that's their authentic self? Or maybe after like 1,000 of these good actions as opposed to bad actions, those good actions become part of their authentic self. Like, could we reach like an arbitrary level at which actions that were inauthentic are actually authentic now, that's who they are? And then not even that those actions they performed before are like not who they are, it's just who they are, who they were back then. Like, are we going to allow, or should we allow people to change, or people to improve, and that changes who they authentically are? Because like that's the only way I can think about getting over it. Because like me, for example, when I was a kid, I was not a very good kid. Like primary school, even secondary school I wasn't so bad, but even maybe the beginning of secondary school, like year 7 and 8, basically when I lived in London with the gangsters, right? And I'm joking, but like, um, when I was younger, I was not the best kid. I was not like the best behaved at school. Like I'd talk a lot in class. I'd be the kids. The teacher would be like, "Oh, can you stop talking?" You know. And now it's like, not to be like, "Oh, I'm such a good person now," but I'm just not like that anymore. Like that's just, I wouldn't say that's who I am anymore. So I'd say when I don't, make loads of noise and get in trouble in class, or whatever, I'm being authentic. But I was also being authentic when I was doing those bad things. It's just, it was so long ago that that's who I was then, and this is who I am now. Like I would be, I'd never be scared of getting in trouble. Like when I was in primary school, like I'd do stuff that, like, I'd climb on fences, like, stuff that's like just stupid kid stuff, right? Now I'm like terrified of getting in trouble. Like I don't want to get in trouble at all. These are like two polar opposite things, but I'd say back then I was still being myself, and now I'm still being myself. It's just who I am has changed over time. So I guess that's a possible fix, but I guess it could be a bit. It's a bit shaky because at what? How many years do we set that like arbitrary level at? What, 4 years, 5 years, majority of your life, 75% of your life, or how many actions? 100, 200, 1,000. So I guess it's a bit of a flimsy fix, but I guess you can see where I'm coming from. So I don't know. I wonder what you guys think. Now that I've made the video, I can kind of put it in the back of my mind, and I don't have to worry about it so much anymore. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see what you guys think. And I look forward to the comments because that's where I actually like have lots of discussions. And if you want to leave a comment, like the video, subscribe, that'd be fun. But yeah, it's good to be back, and that's it. Peace out.